There, folks. So the Portland Police Bureau is doing their best to keep the anti-fascists away from the fascists. So the fascist line is over here, and they are definitely out in force. And the law enforcement is basically doing what they can to keep the people separate. So just turn the camera around here in a second to show you guys. All right, so here's the Portland Police Bureau. And then this is the anti-fascists. And then over here are the fascists. So these guys, they don't have their shin guards. They don't have elbow guards or elbow pads. They're not really properly protected for this situation, but this guy is. He's got his shin guards, he's got his elbow guards, and he's wearing shoulder pads and everything. So this guy, he's ready to actually go in swinging. They didn't give this guy enough equipment. He's underprepared. They didn't give you enough equipment, brother. This guy also underprepared. He's got his arms out, he's got his hands out, he's not properly protected. So I just saw some teachers against fascism. It said public education against fascism. So this police line and this barricade line, they put it in place to keep the people who are against fascism away from the people who are into fascism. So if you look over here, you can see a bunch of the Proud Boys, the Patriot Prayer, different Adam Hoffen, you know, the whole spectrum of hate-filled people, and they're over here being protected by law enforcement. So you have these guys that are openly calling for murder, and You know, they're openly calling for murder and they're being protected by law enforcement. Like, believe it or not, these guys have called for killing, they've called for murder on the internet, and they're still being protected. So if you or I called for murder, we might get arrested. But these guys called for murder and they're protected. Had a brief phone call come in there, so I had to take that. But guys, could you answer a couple questions? No? I guess you can listen then. Portland Police Bureau has been investigated multiple times by the Department of Justice for violation of human rights because you guys have a record of being criminals. So you've been investigated for crimes because ultimately you violate human rights and are horrible people. So just so you know, the Department of Justice thinks you're criminals. This dude is very misguided, but his dog is cute. His dog's cute. This guy also very misguided, but his dog is also cute. Show you guys this. This looks good. The banana flag says, "Don't tread on me." Feminazis against actual Nazis. I love that sign. It's a great sign. Thank you for that. The sign is memorializing Heather Heyer. Heather Heyer, one of the early casualties in what I believe is a civil war. like sage right now. Someone's burning sage around here. I got cedar in my shoes.
He said he was going to be here.
So this is interesting. The predatory media has their own private security guards.
It's a bull call. Oh, shit.
I just saw it.
All right, so take a look over here. Over here we have the fascists standing up on the barricade. And then law enforcement, I bet if I stood on the barricade, she hit me with that stick. But they're letting the fascists stand on the barricade. Go figure. It's almost as if they're biased towards fascism. I hate to put it like that, but it's that obvious. What's that? Oh, yeah. Don't bother. Don't bother. It's obvious. It's obvious. Well, also dedicated. I think more dedicated than naive. Because if you demonstrated that, it would be really obvious. Because as soon as you tried to stand up there, they would hit you with their sticks. But they're letting the fascists stand up there. So go figure. It's almost as if the police support fascism. Actually, the Portland Police Bureau, they've been investigated for hate crimes before. Portland Police Bureau uses excessive force on minorities and people who have compromised mental capacity. They've been investigated and found to be criminals. You guys are actually criminals. The Department of Justice cited you for criminal behavior. So the fascists left. So now the police are leaving. The fascists are gone. So the fascists already left. That's why the police are leaving. So the fascists have already left. I think they went to Pioneer Park, Pioneer Courthouse Square is my guess. So I might try and head that way.
Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. She wanted it.
All right, guys, so the people on the extreme far right have already left this theater. The fascists are gone. And the police have already adjusted and moved around to reflect that point that the fascists left. So now the anti-fascists are still here having a rally, but the fascists have by and large left. There's still a few of them mingling with the crowd. I saw the guys in the Trump shirts and the guys with the American flags. They're definitely here as a part of this gathering, but they are definitely not with the rest of the fascists. They're still mixed in. So the rest of the fascists left, and I'm just gonna see if I can track them down. It should be pretty easy. Take a look at what you guys are saying. All right, I appreciate you trolls tuning in. You could be doing anything with your time, but you decided to be here. Listen to my commentary as I tell you how I believe things are. So what's going on right now is I'm just reading the comments here, and in the comments I noticed that there are some people who are on the fascist right. So I just want to express to you guys, if you are part of the fascist right wing, then you need to know that dehydrating children to death is not okay. Murdering people who are LGBTQ is not okay. And it really shouldn't be tolerated by the Portland Police Bureau. Like, you guys have been investigated by the Department of Justice multiple times for criminal behavior. And I just want to let you know that I recognize that you guys murder people of color in Portland.
You know what they do? They
And-
put their lives on the line every day.
And the Portland Police Bureau has been investigated by the Department of Justice multiple times for killing people of color and for killing people who are mentally handicapped. So you guys have a reputation at the federal level for being criminals. And I just wanted you to know that people know that about you. I know that about you, and the rest of the world does. So you guys, I just wanted to call you out for being criminals. I don't think you should be locked in cages and dehydrated to death, but I definitely don't respect you as law enforcement officers because you're criminals. So anyway, I'll just see if I can find the fascist line here. Obviously, some people are okay with protecting criminals, but I think criminals should not be protected. If you break the law in that way, you should be accountable. And, you know, the Portland Police Bureau, they have a reputation for not only murdering people of color, but also murdering people who have mental disabilities. So I don't think they're very good people. I think that they're actually criminals themselves. So if I'm not wrong, then the people of the Trump disposition have headed to Pioneer Courthouse Square. And that's the direction I'm gonna head now. Let's just see if I can get over there.